Welcome to JTV News. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ino Soman, and here's a look at what's coming up in this newscast. A court orders Julian Willock to serve prison time for failure to pay monies owed to National Bank of the Virgin Islands. Miss BVI pageant to include maxi priests and prestigious judges and MCs. Summer sizzle making a name for the BVI in a new fashion tourism industry.
Have you ever been to anything like this before?
In the islands, no. This is actually my first time here, so it's been an awesome trip, and I recommend everybody to come on down.
The removal of a pump station at Ivan Dawson Primary School solves the sewage problem. Eldred Henry wins 2 bronze medals in shot put and discus throw.
I would prefer to carry home that gold, but at the end of the day, a medal is a medal, and I'm thankful and thank God for it.
E. Walwyn Bruley honored for his contribution to BVI softball.
GM is the voice of softball in this country.
And in our Hot Trends feature, exclusive interviews and more from Summer Sizzle 2016.
And all the events we've been to, I think what I love about it specifically is the effort people put to dressing up and going out.
Yes.
It's always fun when you see people take a party seriously and really kind of go for it.
In news from the Caribbean, OECS leaders are investigating the viability of a national health insurance system for the sub-region. And in Belize, 5 men are charged with murder after the gruesome discovery of a murdered pastor's head in a car. In Mayo Clinic Medical Minute, a new study shows teens who are out of shape are also at risk for diabetes in the future, even if they are not overweight. Dr. Geronimo Jones will have that report from Mayo Clinic explaining ways to prevent this. And I'll be back with the news and more right after the break.
Every athlete dreams of competing at the Olympics. People dream of watching the Olympics.
You cannot watch it. Even if you're not into sports, you have to watch it.
There's no other event that eclipses the Olympics.
I would call it the ultimate world experience.
You can't beat the Olympics. The Olympics really is number one.
And now the news. A magistrate has ordered that Julian Willock spend 6 weeks in prison after he failed to pay money owed to the National Bank of the Virgin Islands. Julian Willock is the chairman of Advanced Marketing and Professional Services, the parent company of Virgin Islands News Online. Magistrate Ayana Baptiste Dabrio made the order after hearing that Willock's last payment was in May of this year. The court also heard that Willock, who allegedly owes the National Bank about $13,000, had been delinquent with payment in the past and was given a court order with a penal notice attached. The notice issued weeks ago stated that if Willock defaulted on any of his outstanding payments, an order would be made for his committal. In other words, he would be jailed for the 6 weeks. Willock failed to appear in court on Thursday, July 21st, when the magistrate made the order for his committal. He was reportedly ill, and a medical report was presented on his behalf. But the court was told that Willock had given such excuses on several previous occasions whenever he was expected to appear in court. It was not stated when Willock will start to serve his sentence. Premier Dr. D'Orlando Smith attended the pre-joint ministerial council meeting from July 19 to the 21st in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Before leaving the BVI, Premier Smith held a press briefing on Monday, July 20th, when he outlined the pertinent issues that will be discussed at the JMC meeting with other overseas territories leaders in preparation for ministerial discussions with the UK in November this year. The Premier said that Brexit and financial services are high on the agenda, including the matter of correspondent banks with CARICOM.
As I have said in previous statements, the BVI can be a strategic asset to the UK in channeling investment into the British economy to support the nation in its efforts towards greater economic independence in the lead-up to and after Brexit. Thus, I'm looking forward to raising with the new UK Overseas Territories Minister the prospect of a new BVI-UK economic partnership. Tomorrow, I will travel to the Turks and Caicos Islands to join other overseas territory leaders at the pre-joint ministerial council hosted by my colleague, the Premier, Dr. the Honorable Rufus Ewing. There we will discuss overseas territories priorities for ministerial discussions with the United Kingdom later this year. Of course, Brexit is high on the agenda, and we are specifically concerned about how we will be involved in the UK negotiations with the European Union. The BVI and others benefit from the European Union, and the value of this relationship should be taken into consideration in any new arrangement between the EU and the UK. Also on the agenda is financial services. We will discuss the ways in which territories can address the offshore stigma by reinforcing to the global community that small international finance centers, such as the BVI, regulatory regime meets highest international standards and play an important role in the global economy. In the margin of the PGMC, the overseas territory leaders of the associate members of CARICOM, including the BVI, will have a special meeting with CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Erwin LaRocque to discuss our priorities and the overall CARICOM agenda, including a proposed Caribbean International Conference on correspondent banking, and more general, the OT's ongoing relationship and engagement with CARICOM.
Last month, Premier Smith said the loss of correspondent banking relationships in this region is threatening the financial services industry because the banks which facilitates the flow of funds from one country to another are leaving the Caribbean. Premier Smith is currently on personal leave until July 26th. Until then, Deputy Premier Dr. Kedrick Pickering will act as Premier of the BVI. Chairperson of the Miss BVI Pageant Committee, Janet Bryn, sat down with host Eduenka on Spotlight to discuss the exciting features of this year's pageant, including a special performance by Maxi Priest and very prestigious judges and MCs.
We have a celebrity guest host, Miss Empress Janelle. Those of you who are familiar with Tempo, she was one of the original hosts on Tempo when Tempo first started. So she'll be joining us once again because she actually hosted the pageant before. Awesome personality. So
awesome personality, very exciting.
Yes, yes. So she's joining us once again. And then we also have a number of celebrity judges. We're doing lots of things different. Oh, sorry. We do have a local host, Mr. Damian Grange. He's joining us as well. So those two personalities should work really well together and make sure we have a really awesome show. We have some phenomenal entertainment. We have Gen Y Factor winner.
Yes.
His name is Dornell Sanderson. And we also have Aaron the Jedi. You know him?
Yes.
And without further ado, we have Grammy Award-winning artist Maxi Priest joining us on stage for a live performance. He's going to be awesome. I spoke to him today, and he's very much looking forward to joining us.
In addition, Bryn noted a few changes to the format of the pageant itself and confirmed this year's prizes.
One thing that you might have noticed that changed this year, given the time frame that we had in which to put the show together, persons might have been used to the BVI promo show that would have taken place prior to the main show night at the college. What we did is consolidate that whole thing.
You put that back into the package.
It's going to take place the actual show night with a few changes. It's actually going to be part of the young ladies' introduction. So when they come out for introduction, they're also going to be highlighting their platform and their BVI promo pitch all in one.
Oh, okay.
Without props, we really wanted the young ladies to emphasize what they're going to say and not be distracted by, props on stage.
And what are the prizes this year?
For a very intellectual pageant, of course, the largest prize is the academic scholarship.
Okay, so we're still giving the academic scholarship.
We're still giving the academic scholarship, which all the young ladies are looking forward to.
Scholarship?
Yes.
Okay, and do you know because I see some of the young ladies already have degrees.
Yes. And they all have associates.
And what other prizes you have? That's the main prize.
The trip to Miss Universe. We also have National Bank of the Virgin Islands providing a $7,500 cash prize to the winner to help her throughout her reign.
No card this year?
No card this year.
Okay.
Hopefully next year with more sponsorship, but good prizes all the same.
The Miss BVI pageant will take place at 8 p.m. sharp at the Multi-Purpose Sports Complex on Sunday, July 21st. You can see Janet Brin's full interview with Eduenka, as well as an extended interview with the 4 Miss BVI contestants on Spotlight, aired on JTV Channel 55, jtvlive.net, as well as Spotlight's Facebook page, Spotlight BVI. And festival will officially open on Monday, July 25th at the Rita Francis Festival in Road Town, starting with the torchlight procession and a cultural opening ceremony with entertainment by Fungi Bands and Showtime Band. Entertainment by locals and international artists continues on Tuesday, July 26th with Kylo and the Styly Band, Contraband, Sisa, and Vibe. The Calypso competition is set for Wednesday, the 27th of July with finalists Falco, Queen Shireen, King Henry, Mighty Mako, King Pedro, Mighty Rocky, and Sister Joyce, who will be defending her crown. MC for the evening will be Raga, and small acts will end entertainment for that night. The rest of festival promises a packed lineup of great activities and entertainment in Road Town, East End, and Caribbean. For an updated list of events, you can visit JTV's Facebook page, facebook.com/JTV55. Summer Sizzle BVI has become an annual event in the BVI known for its attraction to an international audience. And with this year's presence of renowned fashion photographer Nigel Barker, other big names in fashion, and a partnership with Cosme, Summer Sizzle is effectively establishing a name for the BVI in the global fashion industry. More in this report by Nia Douglas.
At the initial press conference, founder Terry Donovan spoke about Summer Sizzle's hope to establish a new type of tourism in the BVI, fashion tourism.
I wanted to do something for my destination, and I say this because we can take this event anywhere. However, the British Virgin Islands offers such a magnificent backdrop, and the people, the style, the culture, and this amazing Tortola Pier Park that we have now that we can show off to the world, and all of the different foods and music and entertainment. Why not bring the fashion world to the British Virgin Islands? So my vision is to make the British Virgin Islands the Saint-Tropez of the Caribbean. And we want to attract all of the fashion world. We want them to shine the spotlight on the British Virgin Islands.
Summer Sizzle's signature events include the annual welcome party, the all-white affair, and of course, the main runway show. This year, however, with the help of Barnes PR and Cosme, Summer Sizzle was able to add an educational workshop to their roster of events, featuring Nigel Barker as the speaker.
Terry Donovan for Summer Sizzle VI. We've always kind of been in contact and wanted to work with each other, providing an educational aspect to the whole Summer Sizzle weekend and helping young persons in the territory really see what is needed, what is required to really have a real business in the industry. He really wanted to push the educational aspect of Summer Sizzle.
While many local photographers and designers were able to benefit from the Insider's Guide to Fashion and Photography workshop, a number of regional designers were grateful to attend via Cosme and now equate Summer Sizzle and consequently the BVI with their newfound expertise.
My name is Zilla Duzan Hazel, and I'm from St. Martin.
And I understand you're a fashion designer?
Yes, I am. I design summer wear for women, and I have a boutique in St. Martin, located in St. Martin.
And so what brings you to Summer Sizzle?
Well, we were invited by the Cosme team. It's a program. They had a fashion design and photography workshop. And we got, we got some introductions from some of the designers and Nigel Barker about what it is to do photography, their experience. And so it was a wonderful weekend actually for us.
And one day, do you hope to have your designs in Summer Sizzle?
Definitely, definitely. So I hope to actually be a part of it next year. So this year I was invited to come and check it out and everything, and then next year I hope to, be a part of it and have my designs be seen on the runway.
Olivia B. from the Cayman Islands.
What are you doing here? What brings you to Summer Sizzle this year?
I was invited by the Cosme team to attend the workshop for inspiring fashion designers and photography, and just to learn about the business.
So are you a designer? Are you a photographer?
I'm a bit of both actually, but I'm focusing more on design.
Are we going to see your designs on the runway anytime soon?
I was actually supposed to do this show, Summer Sizzle 2016, but I did the Cayman Islands Fashion Week, I did Allure Fashion Weekend. I'm actually preparing for New York Fashion Week in September, where myself will actually be on the runway, but everything's just been happening so fast, so I had to sit the show out. But the great thing is, Cosme reached out and I'm here.
After making his presentation, Nigel Barker told JTV News that the BVI's potential to facilitate fashion tourism lies in the community's ability to acknowledge its own fashion industry and creative people. What do you see in terms of the Virgin Islands and its potential? Could you possibly see us developing fashion tourism here in the BVI?
I think there's always an opportunity. I'm yet to obviously experience the Summer Sizzle. I've only just arrived, but the concept behind it, I'm someone who's spent time in Milan, in Paris, in London, in New York for over 20 years in the business, and been to Fashion Week all over the world many, many, many times. And I've been both on the runway and in the front row and experienced all aspects of it. And I know that, in order for a country and an area to create a Fashion Week, they have to inspire the people at the ground level. And that's what events and these sorts of moments like today are all about, are inspiring people to get out there and to create and to be a part of it and to join as a community. This is not no Fashion Week is done by one individual or one magazine or one group. It's done by the entire business, the entire community coming together saying, we want to celebrate our creative people and we're going to create a moment we call Fashion Week to do that. And that's what Summer Sizzle is for the BVIs.
On the red carpet, many designers vowed to one day showcase their apparel on the Summer Sizzle runway. And while a BVI Fashion Week is currently just an idea, many international guests concur that the islands make a great location. Have you ever been to anything like this before?
In the islands, no. This is actually my first time here, so it's been an awesome trip, and I recommend everybody to come on down.
Reporting for JTV News, I'm Nia Douglas.
The Telecommunication Regulatory Commission, TRC, has announced that CCT BVI is among the 3 telecom companies that have registered successfully for the much-touted Spectrum Award process. CCT, Digicel, and Flow are competing for different spectra, the favorite of which is the 700 MHz, which will deliver high-speed mobile broadband through 4G LTE. In October 2015, CCT stated that they were denied the right to participate in the Spectrum Award process. TRC claimed that CCT did not meet certain requirements. CCT asserted that it was being unfairly excluded from the process and took the matter to court and won. Since the court victory, the TRC has modified the registration process and is now stating that all 3 mobile operators, CCT, Digicel, and Flow, have been registered. TRC added that the 3 companies have been professional and diligent throughout the process, and it hopes to grant the relevant frequency authorizations to the qualified companies on August 23rd. And still to come on JTV News, the sewage problem that has been plaguing Ivan Dawson Primary School is now solved. And bronze medalist Eldred Henry speaks about his win in El Salvador. Plus, exclusive interviews and more from the fashion event of the summer. But first, we have other news making headlines in the Caribbean. Welcome to JTV News Caribbean News Report. Governments of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, are to collaborate on a study to investigate the viability of a national health insurance scheme for the sub-region. A communiqué issued on July 18th following the meeting of the OECS leaders noted that the summit had discussed the establishment of a health unit. OECS members are Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, Anguilla, and the British Virgin Islands. The communique stated that the leaders noted the opportunity for sharing best practice in health delivery and considered the advances made by OECS countries like St. Kitts and Nevis in the delivery of free pediatric health care to its nationals as well as citizens of the OECS. The study to investigate the viability of a national health insurance scheme will also take into account life-saving surgical services being offered by St. Vincent and the Grenadines to OECS citizens. A Guyanese-Canadian businessman in Belize and 4 of his cohorts are facing murder and kidnapping charges following the discovery of a murdered pastor's head in a non-national's car. William Mason, along with Belizeans Ernest Castillo, Karen Fernandez, Ashton Venegas, and Terence Fernandez, have been accused of the murder of 47-year-old Llewellyn Lucas, as well as kidnapping charges. According to local reports, Lucas was one of 3 preachers kidnapped at Mason's house in Belmopan. Police say Lucas was beheaded at another location at a farm in the Belize district. The other 2 pastors were released. Police made the gruesome discovery of Lucas' head bagged and placed in a bucket when Mason's vehicle was searched during an investigation. Belize Acting Police Commissioner Russell Blackett said it was luck that led them to the discovery. The men were remanded to Belize Central Prison until September 14th. Cayman Islands is reporting more than 5% increase in tourism figures for both air and cruise arrivals over the previous year. The country is currently expanding its cruise berthing facilities and airport. Cayman 27's Joe Avery reports.
They come by air and they come by sea. Cayman's latest tourism figures are in, and Minister Moses Kirkconnell says it's good news.
July 2015 to June 2016, total visitor expenditure, which includes air and cruise, was 574 million CI dollars.
Mr. Kirkconnell and other key tourism officials hosted an informal tourism roundtable Wednesday afternoon, releasing new tourism figures and announcing a civil engineering tender has been awarded for an updated cruise berthing facility design.
Government will be acquiring the necessary information to speak from an informed position regarding the costs of the overall project.
Moving the piers into deeper water, he says, will lessen environmental impact of the port project, but likely push the price tag from $150 million to somewhere in the $190 million neighborhood. Over at Owen Roberts International Airport, Mr. Kirkconnell says Phase 1 is complete, on time and on budget. He says it's now on to Phase 2.
That includes the expansion of the arrival areas, the departure lounge, and the check-in lobby. So as we drive by, as we go through, we see the bricks and mortar evolving in front of us.
He says the $42.5 million Phase 2 work should be complete by late third quarter of 2018. Joe Avery, Cayman 27.
The use of genetically modified mosquitoes appear to be stemming the spread of dengue in one Brazilian city. A neighborhood in Sao Paulo has seen a significant drop in dengue fever cases. There were 12 cases reported in a one-year period, compared to 133 in the previous year. The decrease came in the first year the genetically modified male mosquitoes produced by British company Oxitec were released. Other areas also saw a decrease in dengue by 52% and 0 cases in one area of 2 other mosquito-borne viruses, Zika and chikungunya. Genetically modified mosquito dubbed friendly Aedes have been used in Brazil since April 2015. The success has resulted in the project being extended for 1 more year. And Timeless Herbal Care Jamaica Limited has signed a memorandum of understanding with the National Black Chamber of Commerce in Washington, D.C., to serve as the Chamber's exclusive partner for advising members with respect to identifying, creating, and pursuing business opportunities related to medical marijuana throughout the diaspora. The National Black Chamber of Commerce has 140 chapters throughout the United States and Pan-African nations, representing over 2 million Black-owned businesses, and Timeless is a leading medical marijuana company in Jamaica with strong public and private relationships with entities throughout the world that regulate and provide products and services in the marijuana industry. This memorandum is a major step forward for Black-owned businesses in the U.S. and Africa in particular, who are being left behind in the multi-million-dollar marijuana industry, and puts Jamaica in a very favorable position to further develop economic ties for the benefit of its own economy with this very important group. And coming up next on JTV News. The removal of a pump station at Ivan Dawson Primary School solves the sewage problem. Eldred Henry wins 2 bronze medals in shot put and discus throw. E. Walwyn Brewley honored for his contribution to BVI softball. And in our Hot Trends feature, exclusive interviews and more from Summer Sizzle 2016.
To see it on your smartphone or to see it on your tablet.
I think that would be ideal, simply because my lifestyle is very on the go.
I'm on the move. I might be at work. I may have some time that I can actually view it, but I'm not close to a television.
You just can't be everywhere you need to be all the time, especially if you work.
So when we're out sailing on the water, somewhere we'll be connected and watching the event live. So it'll be great.
Welcome back to JTV News. The removal of the sewage pump station at the Ivan Dawson Primary School has solved problems that have plagued the school for many years. The district representative Melvin Mitch Turnbull issued a video press release on July 20th to announce that the sewage problem has been resolved. In March this year, JTV News reported that students and teachers at the Ivan Dawson Primary School in King Garden Bay were forced to remain outside of their classrooms due to the reoccurring problem with the sewage system near the school. The stench was said to be overwhelming for the students and staff, who had to endure the obnoxious fumes emanating from an area behind the building. In the video press release, Turnbull said he delivered on a promise just 8 months after being elected as the district representative. Ivan Dawson Primary principal, teachers, and students welcomed the fresh environment at the school grounds. Approximately 120 students are attending the Ivan Dawson Primary School in King Garden Bay. Eldred Henry won bronze medals in discus throw and shot put during the 9th North American, Central America, and Caribbean Athletics Association Under-23 Championships that wrapped up on July 17th in El Salvador. Henry recorded a season's best of 56.45 meters on his second attempt in discus to secure the bronze, becoming the BVI's first to win a medal in a field event. His victory was the first since sprinter Dion Crabb won 2 medals in 2000. Henry spoke with Dean the Sportsman Greenaway following this year's bronze medal win in discus throw.
What does it mean now? I mean, to have joined, only Dion Crabb has ever won medals at NACAC Under-23.
Well, you see, it's always great to bring home a medal for your country, you know. Like I said, it wasn't what I wanted. I would prefer to carry home that gold, but at the end of the day, a medal is a medal, and I'm thankful and thank God for it.
What was the difference this time around than NACAC 2 years ago?
Well, to be honest, I didn't do as well as I wanted to do in the discus. I had a foul that probably would have put me in the lead, but couldn't continue to keep it in the ring. But the difference between last year and this year is like more experience, more exposure.
What are you looking for in the shot?
Well, in the shot put, practice been going real good and change up a few stuff and then walking out for the better. So I'm looking to get a gold, the medal that I wanted.
When you say change, what were some of the changes you made?
Well, you know, make a few adjustments on my start, the way to hold the ball, how I to start the entry to my throw. Yeah, so little stuff like that affects the outcome and getting through the circle quicker, faster, more power.
On Sunday, July 17th, Henry won bronze in the shot put with a throw of 19.11 meters, matching Dion Crabb's 2 bronze medals haul 16 years ago. Henry's medals capped off a stellar meet for the BVI as 5 of 7 athletes advanced to the finals. The 4 other athletes were Trevia Gums, Tennell Gums, Taylor Hill, and Carrie Herbert. Eldred Henry will soon be off to Rio to compete in the Olympics along with 3 other athletes: Tahisha Harrigan-Scott in the 100 meter, Ashley Kelly in the 200 meter, and swimmer Elena Phillip in the 500 meter freestyle. The Rio 2016 Summer Olympic Games will take place in Brazil from August 5th to the 21st. In recognition of his contribution towards the development of softball in the BVI, E. Walwyn Bruley had the honor of having the softball field in Rotown officially named after him. Mr. Bruley is being recognized for his contribution towards the development of softball since 1967. He has performed as a player, official scorer, statistician, announcer, treasurer, Vice President and President of the BVI Amateur Softball Association. He was the longest serving president of amateur softball in the English-speaking Caribbean.
Because of his love and involvement in the sport of softball, Walwyn Bruley has received many honors and accolades, and he now receives another tonight. He could not be more deserving of an individual whose contribution in this area is undeniable. Congratulations, EM, on this honor. My government is privileged to be able to bestow it upon you, and I am confident that the community as a whole is in harmony with what is taking place here at this moment. May we all continue to enjoy softball with you, with your presence and contribution being felt for many years to come.
In addition to the Premier Representative for the 4th District and Minister for Communications and Works, Mark Vanterpool, along with Minister for Education and Culture, Myron Walwyn, attested to E. Walwyn Bruley's caliber.
E. Walwyn Bruley, known to generations of Virgin Islanders simply as GM, has been a patriot of these great Virgin Islands and has served this country well in many capacities, with the highlight of his service being that of a legislator for many years. I cannot imagine softball in the Virgin Islands without the voice of GM. As a boy, I can remember his distinctive voice calling the games as I played baseball on this very field, and as the older men and women played softball. GM is the voice of softball in this country.
Without a doubt, this is a gentleman, not just whose name, not just whose pen on the scorecards as he would be speaking, but especially a gentleman whose voice rang out throughout this district on many occasions, morning, noon, and night, as he dedicated a lot of his life, I'm not exaggerating, a lot of his life, in thick and in thin, when no one was here and when many were here. E. Walwyn Bruley stood in that booth and many other booths to be here to support, score, announce for softball.
And E. Walwyn Bruley himself was present and began his remarks by humbly giving thanks.
Thank you very much. I recognize the protocol already established. But I know Doc from way back when, I know Mac, I know Myron from a little fella. So, and everybody behind me. Tonight, I want to give thanks. First of all, I want to give thanks to the Creator. If it wasn't for Him, I couldn't be here and I wouldn't be here. So first off, let's give thanks.
Mr. Bruley also shared the stories of his experiences that lead up to him becoming the honoree at the naming ceremony held on Friday, July 15th. And the fashion event of the summer kicked off last week with a series of events, parties, and workshops, leading up to a star-studded runway show featuring renowned fashion photographer Nigel Barker as the host. And JTV's Hot Trends has exclusive interviews of the hottest designers, models, and celebrities who attended Summer Sizzle 2016.
JTV Hot Trends Summer Sizzle 2016. We are here once again with Mr. Nigel Barker, and it's showtime. Summer Sizzle 2016. How you feeling?
Very excited. It's good to see everyone dressed up, everyone excited, people talking about it all over the island.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. People are really excited.
And I see that you were at the gold and white party last night. How was that for you?
A lot of fun. All the events we've been to. I think what I love about it specifically is the effort people put to dressing up and going out.
Yes.
It's always fun when you see people take a party seriously and really kind of go for it. And, a lot of fun, great music, great vibe, great food, and the location too. Yesterday, the place we were at had a private beach. Was stunning.
All right. So we have lots of designers here, international designers. Are you familiar with any of them?
I'm familiar with one or two. What I love about it specifically is the fact you have been able to draw an international crowd, which I think is great. And it says a lot about the BVIs and what how important designers feel it is to be shown here. I think that is something the BVIs should be very proud of.
Right about now, I'm joined with one of the designers, Mr. Carlton Jones. He's normally a stylist, and he just gave me some absolutely lovely news. You're now a designer. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Happy to have you here again for Summer Sizzle 2016. Now you're a designer. What is the name of your line?
It's Carlton Jones, actually. I kept it eponymous, kept it simple.
Right.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from your line?
Well, I guess you can expect to see my influence from the Caribbean, which is very much a part of what I'm doing here. It's easy, clean, simple, colorful, and inclusive of every body type.
I feel like the stars have all lined up and they are shining down on me. I am exactly where I wanna be. Yes, I know it's hard to find your place, but I believe that I have made it safe. I am here, or I am on my way.
We're now here with another fabulous designer, and her name is Debbie. Debbie, how are you?
I'm doing good, having fun.
Having fun. Now I understand that your line is all about kids. Tell us about your line.
It's about a character. Her name's Fabulous Phoebe, and she's on. You can get her books on Amazon. So it started by me illustrating these fashion books, and we took the pages of the books and put them on clothes. So it's kind of crazy. I told the kids, if you guys get any of the footage of the kids coming out, they're from 4 to 10. I told them that I wanted them to put on their fierce face when they walk out all the way to the end of the runway. And when they get down there, they can throw their hip out and smile big and smile all the way back.
We're now here with Laquan Smith for Summer Sizzle 2016, another fabulous fashion designer. How are you tonight?
I'm fabulous, thank you.
Now, tell us about Laquan Smith, your line, your style, what we can expect on the runway.
Absolutely. Laquan Smith is a very young, modern, new brand happening right now. Born and raised out of Queens, New York City. When you think of Laquan Smith, it's sultry, it's sexy, she's a confident woman. You've seen Laquan Smith and Kim Kardashian, Beyonce, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, Lady Gaga, the list goes on and on. All of these women have been looking really, really dope, and Laquan Smith over the past 2 years. Absolutely love what I do, and I'm really excited to showcase my spring 2016 collection. So you're just gonna see a lot of really cool mesh oversized sweaters, a lot of high-waisted, high-split skirts. Just keeping things very sexy and simplistic, and at the same time having a little bit of edge to it.
We're now here with a very talented Cesar Galindo. Mr. Galindo, how are you tonight?
I'm great. How are you tonight?
I am hot, but fine.
You're always hot.
Nice. What can we expect from you this year for Summer Sizzle?
My collection that I'm showing for Summer Sizzle is very glitzy, very disco, very social. I want to go out and have a good time and party and put on my best heels and and shine. It's a lot of glitz, a lot of glitz.
Lots of glitz and sparkly stuff.
Well, I think, the world needs, you can never have enough glitter in the world.
I know.
So my collection is based around that. It's about celebrating and having a great time.
JTV Hot Trends. Keep it locked.
Full exclusive coverage of the parties and events of Summer Sizzle will be featured on Hot Trends right here on JTV Channel 55. Coming up next in Medical Minute, a study shows that out-of-shape teens are at risk for diabetes as they get older.
What they found is that low aerobic capacity and low muscle strength were associated with increased risk for type 2 diabetes in adulthood.
Dr. Geronimo Jones is next with that report from the Mayo Clinic.
Eureka, located in the British Virgin Islands. Come, discover Eureka Medical Clinic, which provides the most complete medical services in the Virgin Islands. Our state-of-the-art clinic offers the highest quality in specialty care, cardiology, gastroenterology, orthopedics, and spinal surgery. We also offer specialty care in obstetrics and gynecology, as well as dermatology. Eureka Medical Clinic offers diagnostic procedures such as x-rays, mammograms, CAT scans, and all forms of ultrasound exams. Now, for the first time in the BVI, Eureka offers MRI scanning too. With colonoscopy and gastroscopy, we check the intestines and stomach for polyps, colon cancer, and ulcers too. Located at Geneva Place in the heart of Road Town, Eureka Medical Clinic with Medicare Pharmacy and Labs offers you a comprehensive medical facility all under one roof. So for high-quality medical services and convenience, there's no need to look any further. Eureka! You found it.
Out-of-shape kids and diabetes. A new study shows teens who are out of shape are also at increased risk for type 2 diabetes in the future, even if they're not overweight. Reporter Vivian Williams talks to Mayo Clinic pediatric endocrinologist Dr. Seema Kumar about this issue and ways to prevent it.
1 in 3 children are overweight or obese in the United States right now.
That, says Mayo Clinic pediatric endocrinologist Dr. Seema Kumar, puts kids at risk of adult diseases such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes. A study in Annals of Internal Medicine reports it's not just being overweight that's the problem.
What they found is that low aerobic capacity and low muscle strength were associated with increased risk for type 2 diabetes in adulthood.
Even if study participants, 18-year-old males, were of average weight. So what does this tell us?
It does suggest that improvement of muscle strength and improvement of aerobic capacity in our teenagers might be one way we can prevent type 2 diabetes from developing in adulthood.
Physical activity strengthens bones, helps maintain weight, and boosts confidence. Plus, it lowers stress, anxiety, and depression.
Children who are physically active tend to do better in school.
Any fun activity that gets kids moving is good for their health. For the Mayo Clinic News Network, I'm Vivian Williams.
Before we go, a brief look at the main headlines. A court orders Julian Willock to serve prison time for failure to pay monies owed to National Bank of the Virgin Islands. Miss BVI pageant to include maxi priests and prestigious judges and MCs. Summer Sizzle making a name for the BVI in a new fashion tourism industry. The removal of a pump station at Ivan Dawson Primary School solves the sewage problem. Eldred Henry wins 2 bronze medals in shot put and discus throw. E. Walwyn Bruley honored for his contribution to BVI softball. And in our Hot Trends feature, exclusive interviews and more from Summer Sizzle 2016. In news from the Caribbean, OECS leaders are investigating the viability of a national health insurance system for the sub-region. And in Belize, 5 men are charged with murder after the gruesome discovery of a murdered pastor's head in a car. Just want to remind you that you can find all the news stories featured in this newscast as well as previous newscasts on our website jtvlive.net. Additional information and news updates can be found on JTV's Facebook page, facebook.com/JTV55. All the news features, press conferences, and JTV's television programs can also be found on JTV News YouTube channel. You can subscribe for daily uploads. We welcome your questions and comments. You can email us at jtvnews@hotmail.com. For the entire news team, I'm Ino Soman. Thank you for watching.